When I woke up, I found myself lying in a clinic in the pack. Alaric was by my side. He was the leader of the pack and he was looking anxiously at me. When he saw me awaken, mixed feelings flashed past his eyes. He then grabbed my hand tight, saying, "Marjorie, don't you worry. I'll take revenge on your behalf." My mother-in-law, Daisy, heard the commotion and rushed over. She brought along with her a team of top witch doctors in the pack in hopes of treating me. Warm affection filled my heart when I saw the doctors bustling around in the room. Despite the cruel torture I was subjected to, my family members' care and concern for me gave me the courage to live on. However, while I was being sent to the treatment area, I overheard Alaric and Daisy's conversation. "Did you really find those rogues and have them hurt Marjorie with a silver dagger?" Daisy whispered, sounding troubled. "I didn't expect her to get so injured, you were too harsh. Having been wounded by a silver dagger, her wolf will be dead, and she will become permanently disabled. If she doesn't become crippled, she'll threaten Serina's position as the first female gamma of the pack. It's fine if she becomes crippled. I'll just take care of her." Alaric spoke in a calm and callous manner. Then, he added, "I intend to hand over some pack affairs to Serina. We practically watched her grow up. I can rest easy putting things in her hands." Serina was Alaric's stepsister and they shared no blood relation whatsoever. Alaric always said that he saw her as his sister and nothing else. I didn't expect them to attack me for the sake of letting her emerge as the victor. I froze on the spot. I couldn't believe what I was hearing and couldn't accept the cruel reality. All the beautiful memories of my happy family shattered in that instance as endless hopelessness and anger took their place instead. I struggled to stand and question them why they did that to me. However, my weak body refused to obey and I could only lay on the bed, unable to move, as pain spread across all 4 limbs. I didn't know where to go or how to face the family I used to love with all my heart. When the witch doctor asked Alaric whether he should proceed with the surgery, Alaric replied to him without any hesitation to wait for a few more days. He explained that there were many things he had to settle in the pack and he couldn't afford to make everyone wait for my sake. His sanctimonious response filled my heart with scorn. The witch doctor looked at me, confused. "Alpha Alaric, are you sure? If we do operate on Luna Marjorie's body with haste, she might not be able to transform to her wolf in the future. The wounds caused by the silver will make her body even weaker." Daisy looked hesitatingly at Alaric. "Should we just?" Alaric cut her off and declared firmly, "I'm sure. It's decided. We won't go ahead with the surgery just yet." The witch doctor didn't understand the rationale behind their decision, but I already guessed it. They just wanted to use my injury to drag things out, so that Serina could perform better during the trial. At that moment, I finally saw their true colors. I looked down as my expression turned cold. Did Alaric really want me to become a cripple? How could he be so vicious just so that Serina could win the trial? They clearly knew what consequence I would meet, yet they pretended to be so concerned. Sweat poured down my face when my wound was treated. Daisy pretended to wipe tears from her eyes while Alaric stood by my side with feigned concern. "Does it hurt?" "My poor girl," Daisy said as she held my hand while wiping her tears with another. She said softly, "It'll be fine, I'll be here by your side throughout." "Witch doctor, is this how you treat a patient?" Alaric yelled with feigned anger. "Don't you see how pale Luna has become? Be gentle." "Marjorie, bear with it," he said tenderly as he looked down at me. "You'll get better after your wound is treated." I gritted my teeth and kept silent, the pain in my heart way more intense than the pain my body was feeling. After my wound was treated, I was left in the ward with a few nurses who were cleaning up. I overheard their conversation. "Did you hear? Marjorie's wolf is probably dead." "Really? Does that mean she can't take part in the trial?" "Who knows? I even heard that Alaric and Daisy dismissed the witch doctor and halted the treatment." "What? But Marjorie is injured so badly. If her wolf is dead, she had no right to join the battle forever. What does she have to fear? Anyway, she's just a warrior who uses banned substances. She's not fit to be gamma." "Are you serious? Isn't she very brave and valiant?" "Of course, I am. I heard it from Alpha Alaric himself." I didn't believe their words, but when Alaric and Daisy walked in a while later, they stood by my bedside and conversed in hushed whispers, thinking that I was still asleep. Did you really tell others that Marjorie used banned substances? It was Daisy speaking. Did you really need to go to that extent? Alaric nodded. Yes. That's the only way for us to completely stop her from taking part in the trial. Our pack upholds fairness. Once news of this spreads, no one will support someone like her. I was both shocked and furious to hear what he had said. I had never even seen a banned substance in my life, how could I possibly take it in secret? I couldn't believe that they stooped to ruining my reputation just to disqualify me from the competition. I laid on the bed, my heart filled with hopelessness as I looked at the dark night sky outside the window. I knew that I had no other way given my condition right now. Unless I could find someone who could get me out of my current plight. At that thought, I picked up the phone receiver and contacted someone mysterious. Hello, is this Marjorie? The low voice of a werewolf sounded on the phone. It's me, I said as I gripped the receiver tight. I want to join your pack. But do me a favor right now. I'll agree to your condition after you do so. He chuckled lightly. Okay, I'll send someone to bring you here. I put down the receiver, feeling relieved. As the nurses said, Alaric discharged me from the clinic without having any surgery done on me. The explanation he gave me was, the clinic is very busy these few days. I asked the witch doctor and he said you'll be fine after resting at home. It's fine. Your wound will heal up very quickly under Daisy and my care. The moment I returned to my room, Serina came knocking on my door. She looked at me and asked with concern, Marjorie, how are you? I heard you got injured, so I came to see you. She held my hand with a pretentious look on her face which was etched with feigned worry. I retracted my hand coldly, not saying a word. Instead of getting mad, she pulled out a wolf fang and swung it before me. Look, Marjorie. Do you see what this is? It's a token of my participation at the trial. I knew she was deliberately showing off to me, declaring that she could stand tall and proud at the trial arena while I was nothing but a werewolf with no wolf. Well, are you envious? Alaric made this for me. She smiled smugly as she shot me a provocative look. The disgusting look on her face made my heart burn with anger, but I suppressed it and remained calm. A while later, the servants left the room, leaving just the two of us behind. The smile on Serina's face faded as she looked wickedly at me. Marjorie, you are useless. You'll never surpass me no matter how hard you try. She drew close to me and said softly with a smug smile on her face, here's the truth. Alaric sought out those rogues and spread fake rumors of you using banned substances. They didn't have the time to bother about you when you were injured because they were helping me find my lost earrings. She looked at my pale face and burst out laughing, clearly pleased. Marjorie, just look at you right now. You look just like a clown. What are you so smug about? With so many other warriors in the pack, are you sure you'll emerge the champion? I interjected coldly. Serina's face darkened in an instant. So what? As long as I want to, Alaric will find a way. You should worry about yourself instead. With that, she shoved me hard with a wicked smile on her face. I collapsed on the floor without feeling my wolf. A cunning look flashed past Serina's eyes as she stretched out her claws and scratched her own face hard. Blood flowed out instantly. She then fell on the floor and pretended to be hurt, crying out loud, Marjorie, why did you do that to me? Her cries attracted Alaric's and Daisy's attention. They walked through the door and saw the scratch on Serina's face, their faces registering shock and anger. What's going on? Alaric looked at me coldly, his eyes filled with fury. Serina leapt into his arms and cried indignantly, Alaric, Marjorie, she scratched me. I showed her the wolf fang to try to cheer her up, but she claimed that I was showing off and hit me. Daisy hugged her tight as she pointed at me and said with disappointment, Marjorie, why have you become like this? What wrong did Serina do to deserve you treating her like this? Alaric approached me with a furious look on his face as he grabbed my arm callously. Marjorie, apologize to Serina this instant. You're so black-hearted, no wonder you were beaten up like this. My wound had ruptured again and blood spread across the floor. Serina, how could you set me up? I glared at her as I struggled to yell, I didn't do it. Alaric remained unmoved and unwilling to hear me out. Alaric, don't blame Marjorie, Serina said pretentiously, but the smug look on her face was clear as day. All right, go get the witch doctor, lest Serina's face get scarred. Daisy looked at me with a frown before walking out with her arms around Serina. Marjorie, stay here and reflect on what you did. With that, Alaric left without looking back, leaving me in a state of distress on the floor. After they treated the wound on Serina's face, Alaric and Daisy finally remembered me. Were you too harsh earlier? Marjorie is so badly injured, she surely doesn't feel good about it, Daisy said with a sigh. Go upstairs and check in on her later, she told Alaric. Got it, Alaric said. He instructed the servants to prepare some fish soup, which he brought a bowl of into my room. Marjorie, I got too angry just now, Alaric said as he pushed open the door to my room. I laid on the bed with my back to him, remaining silent. He looked displeased with my lack of response. Marjorie, you were wrong to begin with. Serina was being generous, trying to counsel you. You shouldn't return good with evil. Come on, you're an adult now. Enough sulking. Sit up. I said indifferently, still in the same position, I'm not sulking. I just feel unwell and need some rest. Don't worry. Serina's voice sounded from downstairs. Alaric, can you help me apply some ointment? Alaric immediately put the bowl of fish soup down as he said, good that you're not sulking. Have some fish soup and remember to go downstairs to apologize to Serina. With that, he hurried downstairs. After he shut the door to my room, I looked at the bowl of fish soup with a derisive smile. I didn't even like fish, and this fish soup was probably made for Serina. I was just riding on her coattails. Why should I apologize to her when I did nothing wrong? But it was pointless saying all that. I wheeled myself to the back door while everyone was busy showing Serina concern. Just as I was walking along the corridor, I saw Serina leaning in Alaric's embrace, her bathrobe wide open as she sat on his lap. Alaric, my wound hurts. Help me rub it better. Sure. Alaric leaned forward, their bodies pressed tightly against each other as desire grew in Alaric's eyes. Serina said with a pout, I knew it, you're the best to me. Alaric, do you like me or Marjorie more? Alaric said with a doting smile, of course, it's you. Marjorie can't hold a candle to a finger of yours. You married a woman you don't love just so I could be Gamma. To repay your kindness, Serina pulled Alaric's pants down and then sat on his lap. That was when I realized that she was wearing nothing under her bathrobe. Desire overtook them as a woman's moans sounded from in the room. I felt nauseated at the sight of them. I never wanted to see them ever again. When it was dinner time, Daisy looked at the closed door on the second floor with a frown on her face. Why isn't Marjorie down yet? Didn't she say that she wasn't angry? Why is she not coming down for dinner? Her temper is getting worse by the day. We've spoiled her. Alaric flung his spoon down in anger and stood up. I'll go see what tricks she has up her sleeves. A while later, he came running down the stairs, his face pale. Marjorie isn't in the room. She's gone.